Hello everyone, this is Alex from Tanuki, here with an important band update for you all. As most of you already know, Tony has made the difficult decision to leave the band. And before I get into the details regarding the future of this project, I just want to take a moment to address any speculation there may be on the situation and give you all some context. Tony's departure is not the result of any personal or creative differences between he and I, because there are none. There has been no conflict. There are no hard feelings. We are still very close friends. Our relationship has not changed. There is nothing but love and respect between the two of us. We've just reached a point where we feel that it is best for everyone involved that we go our separate ways. At this point in time, Tony and I have been working on this project now for close to 6 years, and a lot has happened in that time. A lot of things have changed. We are now well into our 30s with other professional and personal obligations outside of the band. And while it has been difficult and hard for me at times to balance those things, it has been exponentially more difficult for Tony because he has greater responsibilities than I. He's a homeowner and a family man, both a husband and a father. In fact, he and his wife are expecting their second child very soon. So after careful consideration and a lot of thinking, Tony has come to the conclusion that he can no longer put aside the time and resources required to make this work. So he's choosing to step away. And I respect that. I know that for a lot of you, this probably comes as a surprise and probably seems very sudden and unexpected. But truth be told, this is a topic that Tony and I have discussed at length on multiple occasions, going back a couple of years now, because it was and has always been an inevitability. Nothing lasts forever, and we knew that at some point other things have to come first, and that this would have to come to an end. So I have had a lot of time to prepare myself for this. Before I say anything more, I just want there to be no questions about Tony's commitment and dedication to this project. He has poured his entire life and soul into this band. It has meant just as much to him as it has for me. He has made sacrifices and compromises I can't begin to understand. And none of this would have been possible without him. I would not be talking to you now were it not for him. And I can't thank him enough for being a part of this. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else. So, I'm sure you're all wondering, what this means for the band and what happens next. I guess I'll get straight to the point. Tanuki is not dead, and I'm not finished making music. There are still a lot of things I want to do and a lot of things I have to say. So one way or another, we will keep this going. I will keep this going. I have decided to continue this project as a one-man band. It does not feel appropriate to bring in anyone else to replace Tony. It's either going to be him and I, or just me or no one. That being said, things are going to be a bit more difficult from here on. I have always wanted to engineer my own album. It's something I've thought about for a long time, and I feel like this is a great opportunity to do it. This is the push that I needed to finally tackle that. But I am admittedly not as talented an engineer as Tony and Chris. Tony obviously engineering the last two songs and the full length, and Chris engineering our last two EPs. So it's definitely going to be a arduous learning process for me, and probably going to require more time than I'd care to admit. A lot of trial and error, a lot of learning on the fly. And no matter how it plays out, I guarantee you will not end in failure. You will have new music. I will be putting something out as Tanuki at some point in the future. And my hope is that you're all still along for the ride. All that said, I feel like this is a good opportunity to exercise a greater amount of transparency. I feel like Tony and I have always valued our ability to speak with you all candidly and answer any questions that you guys might have and be as transparent as possible about the creative process. And that's something I want to continue doing. My hope is that through the production of this next release, I can give you some more insight and more updates on the writing process and the engineering process, and keep you all engaged and be more active with you all, because that is something I genuinely enjoy. And like engineering my own album, this is a good opportunity as any. So that is the hope for the future. That pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say in this update. Once again, I want to wish Tony and his family nothing but love and happiness for their future, and I want to thank him for everything he's done for this band. And I'd like to thank you all for your time and continued support. We're not done here. This is just another chapter in our journey, and hopefully you will all still be with me when we reach the other side. Thank you all so much. This is Alex. I am Tanuki, signing off.